Hello everyone, welcome to my first ever Let's Play. For this Let's Play we will be doing Dominions 4. I will be playing the match as Tien, the Barbarian Kings, and this will be a disciple game. I will be using Agartha as my disciple. I will not go terribly in depth on things like setting up the match for things like that. That's more of a tutorial video for something else. This will be more strictly a Let's Play, and I may give a little more information on some of the strategies, the bless strategy and such that I use for this. So I will go ahead and set up the match. I will be playing in the late age, so this will be Tien, the Barbarian Kings, and not one of the other versions of Tien. There are, I believe there are versions of Tien in both the early and the middle ages. However, this will be the late age. Now then, as you can see here, I have gone ahead and set up the teams. I will be playing as Tien, the Barbarian Kings, as I said. My ally will be Agartha. They will be my disciple. There will be 4 other teams for this match. There will be Mictlan and Abysia, the Blood Nations. There will also be Atlantis and Ryla for Team 3, couple of water nations. For Team 4, we have Midgard and Utgard, the giant nations, or what's left of the giants in the late age. And finally, we have a couple of human nations for Team 5, Man and Joman. I'll just go ahead and give you the race description for Tien, the Barbarian King. So I will go ahead and read this. The Celestial Empire is crumbling. Constant invasions from the Barbarian Khans have all but destroyed the Imperial bureaucracy. The Imperial family has been replaced by Barbarian Kings. The Imperial Guard is no more, and the cavalry of old has been replaced by skilled Barbarian horsemen. Ancestral worship is popular once more, and priest mages of the Barbarian heritage who led the ancestor cult, are replacing the priests of the bureaucracy. With the displacement of the eunuchs from power, the conscription has fallen out of use. Now, they are a human race. Their military consists of cavalry, heavy infantry, archers, and conscription. They're fairly diverse with magic. They have water, earth, death, nature, air, astral, and they can summon celestial beings. The unfortunate part to this is their priests are weak, and as I do intend on going with a bless strategy, that leaves me blessing my sacred troops with level 1 priests, and that is unfortunate to say the least. Also, since this will be a disciple game, I apparently will not be able to summon a prophet or promote anyone to a prophet, and so I will be completely lacking for a level 3 priest as well. So I'm not entirely sure how this is going to play out, but it will hamstring me slightly. Now for my physical form, I have selected the Demi-Lich, which is a slightly odd choice. It's a immortal pretender that cannot move. In order to get from one place to another, he has to teleport, use Stygian Pass, Cloud Trapeze, anything of that nature. He is something of a rainbow pretender. Magic Paths are only 20 points for him. I am going for a bless strategy, as I said before. I will be going for a Water 9 bless, which will give my sacred troops +4 defense skill and give them quickness, which will allow them to use their weapons twice per turn, which is quite a bit given the sacred troops that I've got. I've also given him Astral 1 because I will need to have some astral skill in order to teleport and move around later. I've also given him level 9 Death, so my sacred troops will have +10 Undying, which basically means once they hit 0 hit points in battle, they will still be somewhat alive and kicking during the battle until they hit -10 hit points. At that point, they are dead for sure. At the end of the battle, once they hit 0 hit points, whether they hit that 10 or not, they are dead. It will also give my sacred troops death weapons, which will give them a magic attack with 2 armor negating damage. So, regardless of the protection for the enemy, they will still be doing at least 2 damage each time they land a hit. For my Dominion Strength, I have gone with Dominion Strength of 7, which I will need in order to recruit plenty of my sacred units. In order to get the extra points for this huge blessing, I had to take Turmoil 3. That's not particularly great, but we'll see how it goes. Occasionally you get hit by some pretty nasty random events when you have that level of Turmoil. but yeah, hopefully nothing too terrible will happen. I have given myself production 3 because my sacred units do require a fair bit of resources in order to recruit. And once again, we took Cold 2 to get a little bit more of the points that we needed for the Bless. And I've taken Growth 1 to offset some of the supply detriment from that Cold 2. It may also help to increase my gold income over time if the game managed to last very long. And again, I have taken Drain 1 more as a point requirement rather than any sort of strategic use for actually taking Drain. And my Pretender God is imprisoned, so we will not be seeing him for about 3 years. Now, for game settings, I have gone ahead and increased the special site frequency up to 50. The money resource supply multipliers, they are all at 100%. Random events, they are still rare. I have enabled the score graphs. The Hall of Fame entry is up to 15. Limited unique artifact forging rate, that is standard. Standard research. Thrones of Ascension, I have added one level 3 throne. Level 2 we have 1, and level 1 we have 5. Overall we will require 8 points for Ascension and victory for the game. Renaming is allowed, and I have clustered the start positions. That way I will hopefully begin somewhat near my ally and hopefully not directly next to him, in which case that would cause a few problems. Alright, in the beginning there was chaos. Out of chaos rose worlds populated with multitudes of beings. Wars were fought, kings and emperors rose and fell, and civilizations were built and crumbled as millennia passed. Gods dark and strange were worshipped in pagan temples. Still there was chaos. The gods fought amongst themselves, bringing even greater ruin to those who would serve them. At last there was one, a being of great power and enlightenment, who rose above his immortal peers and cast them out of the heavens into oblivion. From chaos came order, and with order came peace, and the creatures of the worlds flourished. The age of chaos had ended. Now the wheel has turned once again. The supreme God has suddenly disappeared. Prayers are left unanswered, and the smoke of offerings rises in vain to the heavens. No one knows why he disappeared, but it is certain that the people of the worlds are once again left without direction, without guiding principle, without order. Now is the time for beings of great power and ambition to try their strength. The throne of the heavens stands empty, and only the strongest can rise to supremacy over all. Only the most powerful can ascend to take the place of he who came before. This is the time of great strife and suffering. This is a time of magic unequaled. This is the Ascension Wars. Now, if we take a look here, we can see our starting position. We have started out somewhat close to our ally. We are right close to the entrance for the caverns, where he will eventually emerge. I have 4 provinces surrounding my capital city. I cannot see exactly what those are. One of them is a wasteland. The other 3, no, the other 2 appear to be regular standard provinces. The other one is a wasteland and a mountain. Going ahead and taking a look at my starting forces. I will go to army setup. I have got 15 archers and 15 footmen. These guys carry long spears or pikes, and that's about all I have. Now, I will not be able to recruit or promote anyone to the rank of a prophet, so I will be stuck with these level 1 priests that I have. Now, for accompanying my sacred troops into battle, I do plan to use some ancestor smiths. These guys have got a map move of 2. They're pretty decent units as far as battle goes. Not that I plan to actually send them into hand-to-hand combat or anything, but they do have an Earth 2 magic skill, which is decent for some bless. They've got a Death 1, which helps them to stave off some of the afflictions they might gain from old age. As I've said, unfortunately they only have level 1 holy skill, so that is not particularly great as far as blessing goes. So unless I find some indie provinces with higher level priests, that's about all I can really do is go with these level 1 guys. So that's not the best thing for my strategy, but we'll have to make do. Now then, the Ancestor Vessel, these are my sacred units that I will be relying on for the vast majority of my combat. Now these guys do have a defense skill of 15 coupled together with the +4 that I get from my Water Bless. That will bump them all the way up to 19 defense skill, which is pretty freaking high. An experienced mounted soldier with a value of 15 compared to one of these guys with a value of 19. Yeah, these guys can hold their own quite well. Not only that, but I do not intend to send them directly into hand-to-hand combat because they do have howling bows, which are magical bows that cause a lesser fear effect on damaging the enemy. Now, the lesser fear effect and the magic bows do also cause armor negating damage, which means regardless of the enemy's protection values, they will still be causing damage. Now, they will have a death weapon bless, which will also add an additional 2 armor negating damage, but I don't think that actually applies to ranged weapons. That, I believe, only applies to hand-to-hand combat and melee weapons. So, the hoof, the lance, and the flashland all should be affected by the death bless, but I do not believe that the howling bow is affected by the death bless. Now they have a map move of 3. They have excellent morale. They have pretty good magic resistance. These guys have got 17 protection value. They are all around very decent fighters. Now Tien also has a number of other foot soldiers who have tower shields that they carry with them, and these guys are excellent front screens for my ancestor vessels because of the tower shields that they carry. So even though they're in the front and I have my ancestor vessels behind firing, uh, they can survive a number of hits from the arrows due to their tower shields. So even if they take any friendly fire, they will hopefully stop all the friendly fire thanks to their tower shield. I'm not entirely sure how the armor negating damage affects shields, but I believe it is possible that even if they take the hit to the shield, they might take 2 damage or they might not. I'm not completely sure how that works, to be perfectly honest. As far as their attack, strength values, all that's fairly average. They do have a decent defense skill, though. I will likely be going with these guys right here. They have 10 protection, basic units altogether. They've got 14 defense skill, which is pretty good, and they require only 11 resources versus these guys here with 20 resources. And to be perfectly honest, there's not a whole bunch of a difference in between them. These guys have got 1 less protection. They've got 5 more, 1 less defense skill, and 5 more protection. So, yeah, I don't think they're worth the double the resource cost. So now looking at the commanders, I have got the Celestial Master. These guys are slow to recruit. 1 air magic, 2 water magic, 1 astral, and they do have a 100% chance to get a random air, earth, astral, or nature. A 10% chance to pick up an additional one of these right here. They are shock resistant, cold resistant, so they can sustain some lightning and cold damage. To be perfectly honest, I guess they've actually changed the resistance from Dominions 3. It was like a percentage value before. Now it appears to just reduce damage by that number of points. So that's slightly different from Dominions 3. Not a bad change, though. We also have got the Ancestor Guides. These guys have got Old Age. They are not slow to recruit, though. They have 13 research. These guys have got a pretty good death magic. They have not got a chance to receive 3 death magic because that's not one of their randoms, but they do have a random earth, air, astral, or nature, so they could get up to 2 air. Now looking at the next one, the Spirit Master. These guys have got Nature 2, Death 1, and they do have a chance to get Death 2. They do not have a chance to get Nature 3. We do have random air, earth, or astral. Now the Master of the Way. They're Sacred units, they do have a water magic, possibly a chance to get 2 water magic. They only cost 135 gold, provide 9 research points. They're not terribly bad. And then we have just a standard priest with nothing special. He's slightly cheaper than a regular priest. Now we do have the cons. These guys are excellent leaders with 120 leadership value, so they are quite good and should provide a decent morale bonus to anyone under their command. Other than that, we just have some regular commanders and a scout commander that is stealthy. For my first turn of recruitment, I believe I'm going to go with just one of these little ceremonial masters here, just the standard priest. They will be accompanying my army so that they can bless my ancestor vessels. I will be recruiting 3 ancestor vessels, which at the moment is all I can recruit, and one of these little footmen carrying his tower shield. I have 9 resources left, which it's actually enough to throw one more of those little spear guys in there, and that will be all that I can do for the moment. I will not be attacking anyone because I do not like to attack blindly, as that can lead to certain death against a stampede of elephants or other such nasties. Now, with all of that, I believe I will go ahead and end my turn, and I will be ending the video right here, and we will continue with the next video and see how this goes. Now, as this is my first YouTube video and my first Let's Play, I hope that you have all enjoyed this, and I will be making more videos quite soon, and I do hope and request that you will like and subscribe, and I will see you all next time. Thank you very much.